There are 25 marbles competing in the Squid Game for $37 million. The only way to win it is to survive 4 tracks without falling off. Let's get to the first track. If you take the wrong ramp, you're out. And we are rolling. Our 25 players battling it out in that first funnel. If they get eliminated, they have no chance of coming back. The divider at the ramp splits the pack in half, so half of these marbles will be eliminated by the time we get to the second round. These competitors will have to strategically place themselves in the funnel so they can get in a place where the divider sends them to safety. Sea Striker the first in that last funnel, and we already got quite a bit of a batch up there in that green snake. Nearly half the players now in that last funnel before we find out who first gets eliminated. And Blood Red is going to be the first one, and he's going to get eliminated. That pin Twister gave is an extra insult to injury. Now the eliminated are packing up, but as more marbles get eliminated, more are also moving on to round 2. And Circus Jr., the latest one to get eliminated. Man, Circus must be fuming. The pressure is even greater on him, so his fate is not the same as Junior. All eyes on the last 2 competitors. The first marble in is going to be the one moving on, and Circus, with a stroke of luck, moves on, while Serpent gets a brutal beating by the bricks. The remaining players will now compete in 3 more tracks to avoid elimination and getting that 37 mil prize. Now the second track, you must make it through both Skyrail stairs. If you fall, you're eliminated. And our second round is off. The stakes are even higher as all these marbles just face the brink of elimination. One shot is all you got. The question is, will anyone buckle under the pressure in this round? Galaxy taking the lead, a bit of a quick one, as it was just too much for him. Getting first place though is a lot better for the marbles' confidence as they can improve better in the next round. Marbles that finish but place last will face even more pressure next round as the pace just gets faster the closer to that prize. Meanwhile, back to this race, White Wolf gets a good lead there against Yellow Swirl down those stairs and blows it just like Galaxy, and Yellow Swirl takes the lead. That quote, winner winner chicken dinner, is especially true, except the winners here tend to be the dinner. And that's exactly what you don't want. We now have 4 players moving on, as well as 5, and now 6. 7 coming down now, Twilight Twister. Can Lava make it down? Yes, he does, but an F in the chat for White Wolf. Now 9 marbles left as we head into the third track. You must make it across both balancing beams to move to the final round. And as always, 1 strike and you're out. We are rolling for track number 3. All the marbles going down the first maze and the second maze. Yellow Swirl getting a good veteran lead into funnel number 1. Bunched up here, but Ocean Cat's Eye gets the lead into that second funnel. The last one before we get into the first set of balancing beams. This is where the pressure really gets amped up. Circus goes down first and is eliminated, hitting those 2 white obstacles. But it paves the way for Yellow Swirl and Sea Striker. Twilight Twister unfortunately not making the cut. Ocean Cat's Eye though still able to make it. Yellow Swirl, Sea Striker passing that second balance beam. Deep Blue getting stuck. Is he going to fall over? It looks like he's keeping his ground. Lava is able to push him, but it turns out to be a sacrifice. Deep Blue better be thanking Lava for this one. But a lot can still go wrong from here to the finish. Marbles can fly off that funnel or off one of those turns. No marble is safe just yet. But we have Ocean Cat's Eye in the lead. Sea Striker falling down all the way to last. Deep Blue placing first. Ocean Cat's Eye second. Sea Striker comes back to third. And whose confidence will be destroyed? Will it be Yellow Swirls or Space Black? It's Space Black. But we can't forget that sacrifice Lava did so his best friend could move on. Just 5 players left as we head to the 4th and final track. You must pick the right path and not fall to your doom. Then you must survive the fenceless plank, and the marble that hits the logo gets the $37 million. Are you ready? Let's go! And it all comes down to this, the last track before we find out who wins the money. Ocean Cat's Eye now in the lead. Which way will he take? He's taking the low way and his opportunities crushed. Deep Blue also failing despite Lava's sacrifice. Space Black though still doing strong against the other 3 marbles. 1 more funnel left till we get to the fenceless plank. Sea Striker getting the lead followed by Yellow Swirl. Ooh, Space Black, yes, he's gonna get the lead down the dominoes. And Yellow Swirl the first in the fenceless plank. Space Black coming down second and falls down just before the Plinko maze. but Sea Striker is able to keep us cool, joining Yellow Swirl, and they both win the $37 million. 50 marbles compete in the Squid Games for $50 million. With 50 competitors, this is the largest tournament we've ever done. The first game is roulette. 6 of these 8 paths are safe, while 2 paths lead to elimination. And we are off for our first event in these Squid Games. All the marbles battling out in that first funnel, but in this event, it doesn't matter what place you come in. As long as you don't pick the paths that lead straight to elimination, you are moving on to that next round. So if I was a marble in this race, I would suggest being more strategic on what paths I would choose rather than trying to rush to be in the center. And we got our first marbles going down, all of them safe so far. And now we're getting a look on which paths lead to elimination. Black Hole and Python being the first 2 out. And it looks like the third and the last paths are the ones that are leading to elimination. One by one, the marbles are slowly getting out. Lyman, Dasher, and Avalanche not going to be seeing the next round. Captain Penguin, or player number 8, the latest on the chopping block. And Thanos, unfortunately getting elimination early, just like in the show. Those Infinity Stones really didn't help him this time around. Now we have Neon making his way down. He's going to make it a no problem. See-Through Green, we haven't seen him in a while. He's out, as well as Sky Blue. Last 2 marbles now, where are they going to be? We have Darude Sandstorm, another longtime veteran who's also safe, and Mariana Trench, the last marble, moving on to the next round. While 38 survived, it's not going to get easier from here, as game 2 is red light, green light. You need to make it past Young-hee to move on and avoid getting stuck in the center. And with 50 marbles joining us at the beginning, 38 remain. Now let's see how much more will be eliminated after this round. You are also eliminated if you do not complete the course. The marbles now going down several mazes, the last maze before we get to the doll. The main goal is not to stay and that X. And we have Golden Viper and White Wolf, the first 2 to move on, I believe. As you can see here, the marbles that are stuck, they have a chance to get hit by their competitors to be in the safe spot. And we have deep, wait, what's this? We have 2 deep blue marbles? It appears he cloned himself to boost his chances, but that's not allowed, and they brought Homer Simpson to take care of it. He's getting a kick out of it, no pun intended. Galaxy got stuck, also getting eliminated. The remaining marbles duke it out even harder in our next game, Mingle. I'll call a number from 1 to 4 right when they're released. Marbles must avoid the number I call. Every marble in that room number will be eliminated. Box 1 is out for round 1. Don't be in that room if you want to make the next round. And also, you are eliminated if you DNF just like Galaxy. Marbles go down the Plinko mazes. Mars Orange almost DNFing but got freed by Darude Sandstorm. Going on that last Plinko maze into the rooms. We have Glower Green, Leopard, and Circus among the marbles eliminated in box 1. Lemon Yellow being pushed by Golden Viper but gets bounced out of box 2. And Golden Viper will be eliminated thanks to Fire's big hit. Darude Sandstorm is in the room, so he is still in. But 6 marbles in box 1 are out, including Golden Viper, as well as Sea Striker, who DNF'd. The unlucky room for round 2 is box number 4. Stay out of box 4 if you want to move on to the final round of this game. We have Fire leading the pack down the Plinko maze. Lionfish, though, it takes it back. But the lead doesn't matter as long as you're not in box number 4. And it looks like Rainforest, he will be eliminated along with Jungle, Mars Orange, and Cat's Eye Yellow. Bad Bouncer on Tropical Sea causes him to join them as well. Darude Sandstorm can't find a box this time, joining the 4 eliminated in box 4. And our final round in Mingle, it's box number 2 that's out. Going down the split pass. Serpent and Rainbow leading the pack. But let's see which room they will end up in. As long as you're not in box number 2, you will move on to our 4th game. No one so far. Oh, we got Snowball and Lemon Yellow are the lone 2 marbles, as well as Alien that DNF'd. And what's this? Darude Sandstorm somehow escaped elimination. He somehow snuck back in the venue. And as the authorities ask what song he's playing, he gets dragged out for the 2nd time. In Game 4, the 14 remaining marbles face the guards. You must beat them to the control room to move on to the next round. When the first guard passes the finish, every marble behind him is eliminated. And just like in Season 2 of Squid Game, the remaining marbles have decided to revolt against the organizers. But it's not going to come easy, as I've heard the soldiers are planning their own attack. And I heard they're going to be releasing 7 seconds after the last marble clears funnel number 1. We have Lionfish, Neon, and White Wolf as the top 3 marbles. Now, just like in the last few rounds, the lead doesn't matter, but it certainly helps if you are more in the lead, because once those marbles are released, which I'm starting to hear them now, the closer you are to the front, the higher your odds of moving on. And there we have the guard marbles just pouncing their way down. As you can see, they're already just close to Nebula's tail. And they are already in funnel number 3. These guys move quicker than lightning, I tell ya. White Wolf, meanwhile, back in front, still holding on to the lead. The guards have already caught up to the marbles at the bottom of the pack, as we've seen Rainbow and Nebula are caught in the mess, and Rocky Mountain just barely making it. It's going to have to be a miracle for Rocky Mountain, as well as the other marbles, to make it out of this. White Wolf now making his way into the last 3 funnels. Once you clear those funnels before the guards, you are guaranteed to the next round, the special game. We have Coral Crusher now making his way down, as well as Fire and Sahara's Sandstorm. Too bad he doesn't have his friend Darut's Sandstorm anymore to take care of him. And we have one guard marble that has caught. He's close to catching up to the leaders, and we have 1 funnel left. And that makes me wonder, will anybody be able to survive this round? And we have Red Ranger now taking the lead away from White Wolf, but he's still in the top 3. And we have our first guard marble in that last funnel, along with the finalists, supposedly. And we have Coral Crusher guaranteed a spot as he makes the control room. Who's going to be the second one? It's going to be Red Ranger, White Wolf, and Sahara Sandstorm. Can we get a 5th marble? And no, we don't. And out of the 13 marbles, 9 have been eliminated and are taken custody by the guards. In our final game, the finalists compete down this track, where the top 2 advance to a sudden death matchup. And our finalists are rolling in our final track, and we are bringing back the pinwheel funnels that are sure to bring more uncertainty to all the competitors. All the marbles quickly making their way down funnel number 2. Coral Crusher getting the early lead, but it didn't seem to matter at all, considering how close they were. White Wolf now getting back the lead into funnel number 3. And Red Ranger is going to be taking it into our last funnel. As long as you're in the top 2, you are in. And we have White Wolf. He's going to make it. Can Coral Crusher beat off Red Ranger? No, he can't. And we have White Wolf and Red Ranger duking it out for that $50 million prize. This is it, the last round of the 2025 Squid Games. Both competitors have come this far out of 50, but there can only be one winner. Red Ranger taking the lead into funnel number 2. Is he going to hold on to it? And no, he isn't. White Wolf making that excellent maneuver. Red Ranger getting stuck a little bit, but he comes back, hitting White Wolf. And it looks like he's going to take it. White Wolf right on his tail into the last funnel. White Wolf making another great hit, but Red Ranger doesn't budge. And he wins the 2025 Squid Game and that $50 million cash prize. 50 marbles earn another Squid Game for $100 million. They'll play 4 games and the winner gets the handsome cash prize. The first game is tag. Each player must make it past the taggers and cross the green line to move on. If you get tagged or get stuck, you're eliminated. And our players are rolling for the first match of Squid Game number 3. Going down the first 2 funnels here before we head into the playing field, where marbles have to avoid those taggers. And keep in mind, how you place does not matter in this race. As long as you cross the green line, you are safe. And this is the first of 3 rounds that the marbles will be going through. And keep in mind, you are also eliminated if you are stuck on the track, not just if you're tagged. And it looks like here we have Captain Penguin being the first tagged alongside Coral Crusher. And we got some marbles bunching together there. Now keep in mind, a marble can free you from the tagger by knocking into you and continuing your downward momentum. And we have 4 marbles getting caught by that first tagger, where Sahara Sandstorm got knocked by that first tagger. We have Lionfish there being a good Samaritan to Glower Green. If it weren't for his help, he would have been eliminated. And there we have Flamethrower helping a fellow Cat's Eye make it down. And 4 players are tagged in a first of 3 rounds. Let's see who will survive round number 2. Second round underway, and man, I got a feel for the Captain Penguin fans because he got revived in the last Squid Game, got eliminated right away in round number 1, and the same thing repeats itself this time around. Captain Penguin really not having the best career. Nebula leading the pack as the marbles now go down the Tagger's field. So far, no marbles getting stuck. A few collisions there on those curvature paths. And then we have quite a few marbles getting stuck. Is that Space Black? I think he is having quite a bit of trouble there. No, it looks like Deep Blue, actually. Yes, it is. Flamethrower getting tagged there alongside Sky Blue, and it's going to be very challenging for him to get out of that situation. And it's a shame because of that good Samaritan move he made on Cat's Eye Yellow. Tall Grass Prairies also getting tagged by the tagger down below. Rocky Mountain as well getting caught up there. But Caribbean Sea to the rescue and just avoids that second tagger, and he will move on. And what a shame for Deep Blue as he had nowhere to go in that scramble. The third and final round of the first game. And we have 8 players now eliminated with only 42 remaining. Not too bad though. Golden Viper being the first one there in our second follow. And I remember he had a really poor performance in the last Marble Audubon tournament. But he is still in it, and I think he's performing a lot better this time around. Now the marbles going down the Tagger's field. No one marble getting tagged yet. Oh, wait, I think that's Tarantula and Jungle. The first marble's getting tagged. And it looks like we have another marble stuck on the corner of that curve path. And that's a really bad place to be because there is no one to save you. We have Jungle getting stuck up there. And Dolphin sacrificing himself so Tallgrass Prairies could cross the finish. Man, what a class act there. 2 marbles getting stuck up there. But Dolphin getting saved there by Circus, and I think that's good karma, almost getting caught there by that second tagger. And Caribbean Sea will be eliminated alongside 5 others. 3 of them weren't able to complete the track. The survivors are a step closer to the 100 mil, but they'll have to get through jump rope. Marbles must get past the jump and complete the jump rope to move to the next round. We had 50 players at the start, but we're now down to 36 as we head into the second game. Over 1/3 of the competition eliminated just from that first round. Now we have a few funnels that the marbles are going to have to go through before we get to those 2 main obstacles. These first few funnels is psychological torture for these players as they're getting bumped in and out side to side by their fellow players. So the marbles are really going to have to keep their composure once they do get to those obstacles, because if you do get rattled up in these funnels, you're in for a wild ride once we do get to those obstacles. And I believe this is the last funnel before our first obstacle, which is the jump. And you can see how wobbly that track gets. One wrong move and the marble will fall to elimination. And we have one more funnel the marbles have to complete after that catcher dish before that jump rope obstacle. All the marbles so far completing the first jump. And don't think you can cheat your way here because we have Younghee and Cholsu keeping a close eye on you. Black Hole, Tropical Sea are gone while White Wolf sneaks his way through. And notice the end of that jump rope. That's a very dangerous place to get stuck in because you're just holding back fellow players, increasing the risk of elimination. And we can see there, oh, Cat's Eye Yellow just barely making his way through. And Yellow Jacket so close yet so far. Same there with Golden Viper and Thanos eliminated right beside him. Hey, at least he made it past the first round this time. Ocean Cat's Eye, the latest one eliminated. And we have quite a few marbles passing. We have one coming down now. It looks like Lava. Oh, just almost getting hit there at the front, but he makes his way through as well. And the fate upon 3 marbles is still yet to be decided. Lemon Yellow, poor timing there, causes him to get eliminated. And we have Rainbow, the last marble. Oh, just barely making it, but the journey's over. With over half of the players gone, the remaining will battle in Sky Squid Game. You must stay on the shape platform and make it through both rounds without falling off. And before the game starts, we have the VIPs coming in, getting a front row seat of all the action. And we are off in the first of 2 rounds. And I believe the VIPs put an extra amount of pressure on these marbles because those VIPs, they treat the marbles like horses. And all they care about is seeing if they win back their bets. The last funnel before we head down that platform. And don't knock over that fencing, the only thing keeping you alive at Rocky Mountain. Alongside Princess Speedy, the first 2 out, White Wolf coming to his demise, as well as Dolphin. It's especially dangerous when you have those collisions in the center. Twilight Twister, they're lucky for a barrier. Oh, Lyman Dasher almost falling off, but he saves himself at the last minute. I don't know how that happened, but he will still survive, avoiding the fate of the 7 eliminated players. We have a triangle platform for round 2 that's much smaller than the square. Who will survive this second round? Only 10 players remain, and I'm anxious to see what happens to Lyman Dasher after that last minute save. The first of 2 funnels. Rainforest is going to be leading the way, but I think in this case it's better to be last. Because at first place, you have to worry about the other marbles knocking into you and hitting you off that platform. Serpent being first, followed by Snowball. What's this? A part of the track has fallen apart. But the game continues as that's part of the game. Lyman Dasher, not so lucky the second time around. That piece knocking off the barrier, but was a saving point there for Snowball. Twilight Twister, the last one coming down. And things are looking steady, but unfortunately for Lyman Dasher, his luck just ran out. Now in the 4th game, players must make it down the funnels and in the safe zone before the track self-destructs in 1 minute. This is far from your typical marble race. You have to be the first marbles down or beat that timer to move on to the next round. And there's a very real chance that we could have all players eliminated if they don't beat that clock. And look at that, we are already a quarter way through. There is no time to waste. There are 4 funnels in this track, 37 seconds to go, now approaching the halfway mark. Serpent currently in the lead, followed there by Twilight Twister. Twilight Twister, you could tell he wants that. We are now over halfway with just 25 seconds to go. No marble has crossed that finish line. Things looking bad for Python as he's unable to get any hits. Only 15 seconds left, 3/4 of the way through. No marbles completed the course yet, but Twilight Twister comes in at first. Just 10 seconds left. Twilight Twister and Serpent guaranteed to move on. Are we going to have a 3rd marble? It looks like yes. Lionfish, are we going to get one more? Man, look how close Snowball was to the finish. But he's still out. That leaves 3 players left competing in one final match to claim the 100 million. First one down this track takes it all. The marbles have made it this far, but unlike in real life, there can only be one winner. Lionfish just taking the lead there from Serpent. Neck and neck in that second funnel. Twilight Twister getting the lead in that final funnel. This is it. Winner takes all. Who's going to be down there first? Looks like Twilight Twister. Yes! Twilight Twister will be the winner of our 3rd Squid Games tournament. Stay tuned for the next vid where my subscribers compete in the Squid Game.